Welcome to the STEM Connector program's first speaker series, where your passion for science, technology, engineering, and math meets endless possibilities, fantastic mentors, and resources to support your professional journey in STEM. Now, this program is all about community, so get ready to connect with fellow STEM enthusiasts, spark your friendships, and build a support network that will fuel your passion for STEM. We're also thrilled to have Pratt and Whitney join us today and support this webinar. Their generous support is making a real difference by providing young women with access to mentorship resources and opportunities to thrive in STEM fields. Together, we hope to ignite a brighter future for innovation and inclusivity. Let me tell you briefly about who we are. The Asia Foundation that's designed and implemented this program. We are a nonprofit international development organization committed to improving lives and expanding opportunities across Asia and the Pacific. Our work is informed by 70 years of experience with deep local knowledge, and we focus on governance, climate action, gender equality, education, and leadership, inclusive growth, and international cooperation. We work in more than 20 countries across the region with 17 permanent offices that are supported by our headquarters that's in San Francisco and an office in Washington, D.C. Our funding comes from a diverse source of bilateral and multilateral development agencies, foundations, corporations, and individuals. Now, in addition to the traditional areas of work in the economic and social sectors that I just mentioned, in recent years, we've also started doing a lot of work to address the digital divide that's arising due to rapid technological growth and economic change that's taking place across the world, but particularly in this part of the world, and how it's affected economies and societies. Unequal access to future skills and fragmentation of skill development is affecting how certain parts of the population, especially the marginalized, like women and minorities, how they're getting access to the opportunities that are coming up in the digital revolution. So to address that, the Asia Foundation has established the Future Skills Alliance, which is basically a collective impact platform where we bring the private sector and the public sector together so we can deliver future skills at scale to the region's underserved groups. Now, under this the Future Skills Alliance, we have the STEM Connect program for which we're here today. This is a regional women in STEM network of networks, which is aimed at supporting young women in colleges and universities that are aspiring for careers in STEM. Now, I'll tell you a little bit more about how this program works. It has 6 pillars. Through which we are hoping to support women like yourselves in gaining the resources and the network that will help you thrive, not just enter careers in STEM, but just thrive in them. The first pillar is a speaker series like the one we're having today. This will be a monthly speaker series in which we will have seasoned professionals from our partner corporate sector. And you can see some of our partners listed on the left. We have some really fantastic partners from the corporate sector, and we draw upon speakers from here to come and talk to our participants about not just professional skills, but also trends in tech and other skills that will help them thrive professionally. The second pillar of this program is a cross-regional mentorship network. Again, we draw upon professionals from our corporate partners who have very generously volunteered their time to mentor young women in their career and academics in STEM. The mentorship, again, is done through our platform, and you can do one-on-one mentoring or group mentoring. And I'll tell you more about our platform towards the end, how you can gain access to that. Thirdly, the program gives access to job readiness and professional development learning resources. This is a curated library of resources that, again, we've drawn upon from our corporate partners who very generously made them available for free for participants of our program that can help. They can use these library of resources to build specific skills that will help support their career. Fourthly, this time we're also offering in-person events, part of which is a series of industry site events. So in our focus countries, which include Singapore, Malaysia, India, Korea, and Japan, participants will actually have the opportunity to visit in person, make visits to offices of our corporate partners. This will help them gain access to learning what a transition from school to work will look like. And they'll also get a chance to meet people who work here, have tech demos or ask questions that would be relevant to their specific careers. And finally, one of the more important things, part of this program is the STEM Connector community that this program builds. There is on our platform, there is a board where you can communicate, ask questions, share opportunities with other peers from across the region. And we will also be sharing jobs, internships, and events that are available through our corporate partners. And finally, all participants who meet certain requirements of the program can earn digital badges and certificates to support their CVs and job applications as they leave school and prepare for the workforce. So this is broadly a broad overview of the program. After we've had a wonderful discussion, and we get to hear our speakers, I can tell you about how you can gain access to our platform. For now, I'll hand it over to the panelists and to our wonderful moderator who'll take the discussion forward for today.
Thank you, Miriam, for the nice introduction. Again, welcome and thank you for joining the STEM Connector Speaker Series. My name is Kyung-Suk Lee, Acting Country Representative of the Asia Foundation in Korea. If I may, I encourage you to turn on your camera if you feel comfortable doing so. We are very excited to kick off the first STEM Connector Speaker Series for 2024, and my belated Happy New Year to you all. Today, we have two excellent speakers who have very successful careers in the global aerospace business, Ms. Jiyeon Julia Park and Jeongbum Judy Moon. Julia is a senior manager for Asia Partnership at the Pratt & Whitney. Judy is working for Connected Aviation Solutions for Collins Aerospace. You can find more of their background in the web poster. As you well know, STEM fields are very male-dominated, especially in Asia. According to 2019 OECD statistics, in the share of women graduates in STEM field, Korea and Japan placed 35 and 38 respectively, which are among the lowest in 38 OECD member countries. I'm sure our audience today is keen to learn all about our speakers, what made them interested in aerospace, how they studied their careers, and how they were successful in the aerospace industry, and so on. So without further ado, I would like to start the conversation by inviting each of our speakers. For your impatient, at the end of the conversation, we will have Q&A session. Please write down your questions in the chat box or raise your hand during the Q&A session. So I'd like to invite Julia and Judy. Please introduce yourself with a brief introduction of your company, how many years you have been with the company, and your responsibilities and roles in your current position. Judy, would you like to go first?
Thank you. Hello, everyone. I'm very happy to see all of you, or some part of you, and then Happy New Year, all of you. I'm very honored to be invited for this call today. Let me introduce a bit of my company. I'm not sure how many people have ever heard my company called as Collins Aerospace. Collins Aerospace is a subsidiary company of the Raytheon Corporations. When you Google it, you will find out some of the more detail about Raytheon Technologies. So Raytheon, on that subsidiary of Raytheon, Collins Aerospace is working on engineering, designing, and then servicing some systems. And those things are all inclusive of our company to provide it. So it is very end-to-end solution. It is not only the manufacturing, but also some of the solution-based, the consultancy service, and then what we call it as aftermarket too. So we providing all the kind of services all together, including manufacturing. And then what we provided as an aviation area is, aviation, the word itself is a quite broad meaning of it. So we are providing the like in-flight solution, for example, like a designing of the network. And then when you just sit on the your airplane, there are just some of the designing in interior design. That's what we call it as too. That's also inclusive. And then maintenance of the aircraft itself, and connected ecosystem. That's what we call it as, from end to end, including the commercial aviations and helicopters, and all the communication and networking is provided too. So that is our company, which is based on America. This is the US. And then we are present actually globally, most of the countries. The Korea is one of the countries. My role itself is actually focusing on the government solution area. That's what we call it as. And the government solution means it is quite a new concept and on aviation area. What we say is the government solution has been started since after actually 9/11, and then most of the governments consider about their security, and then which they have never considered at the beginning. And nowadays, government on all the kind of area has been focusing on that kind of security as well, and because their in-flight security is also mattered. That's what I'm focusing on most of my times. And I have worked on this company about 7+ years. And then actually my career, most of my career has been devoted on aviation though. But what I'm working for now company, the current company, is about the 6+ years. And that my expert is like what we call this subject matter of expert, and then that's what we're focusing on the government solution area. And then I'm in charge of the Asia Pacific related all that kind of a conversation and then communication and system design. That's what I'm managing right now. And then what else? Any that's it.
Okay, thank you, Judy. Julia, would you go like to next?
Yeah, sure. Hi, everyone. My name is Julia Park. It's very nice meeting you all, and Happy New Year. And then I think for my company, so it's Pratt & Whitney, but Judy is actually the colleague of mine, because right now we are whole like a Raytheon technology, which we merge all together. We used to be Pratt & Whitney, Collins Aerospace, and also Raytheon. They're all different companies, but now we are all together. So I think Judy already explained a lot about our company, but more specifically, Pratt & Whitney, we are only focusing on aircraft engine. So we are manufacturing, designing, and also providing aftermarket service as well. So, but only focusing on military and commercial engines. So I used to work in Connecticut, East Hartford office, which is Pratt & Whitney headquarters. And when I was there, we are headquartered in America. They're only making large engines only. So it goes to, like, as you know, Airbus or Boeing. And Pratt & Whitney, they have a Canada office as well, which is in Montreal. They making a small engine, so which we sell. Our customer will be, the celebrity like Bill Gates. They have their own airplane, so we sold our engine to them. So there are 2 locations in Canada, in America, and then there is a big engines and small engine. That's actually the very simple explanation about our company. I've been with my company Pratt & Whitney about very similar with Judy, 7+ years right now. But I've been in aviation industry about, I think it's already been 17 years. And I started my career like whole aviation industries, and I study, like, just introducing myself a little bit. I studied aeronautical engineering when I was in undergraduate, and then human factor for my graduate students. And I study in America. I'm Korean, but I'm holding American passport, so I'm American citizen myself. So I spent all my career in America until 3 years. I moved back to Korea because of my personal family reason. But until then, I worked for Lockheed Martin, Texas, about I think 7 years. And then I moved to GE Aviation in Massachusetts. That's when I was learning about the military engine businesses. And then I moved to Pratt Whitney. So far, not because I'm working for Pratt Whitney, I think the Pratt Whitney is the best among 3 companies. So I'm enjoying my job a lot right now. And unfortunately, my current position is a confidential program, so I'm not allowed to speak too much about my current position. But I can definitely share my previous experiences and then my past experiences. But just simply talking about my current job, I'm working with one of Korean big companies who wants to learn about how to make airplane engines. So I'm helping them right now to learn about how to, manufacturing themselves, because right now, unfortunately, Korea, they don't have their own capability to make from the beginning scratch to the end. So we are trying to give them some technology support so they can do their own engines themselves. So that's simply what I'm doing with that. So I work with a Korean company daily basis right now. Thank you.
Thank you, Julia. That's awesome. And Judy, my next question is, according to the data we found, only 13.2% of aerospace engineers in the US are women. And in Korea, women comprise of 16% of the aerospace industry, which is only 1,570 women. Very small portion, both in the US and Korea, and you are one of them. So what inspired you to pursue career in the aviation? Julia, do you have to go first? The question?
I'll go first. Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
okay, so it's back and forth.
Yeah, I wish I have such an inspiring story, but I want to be honest with you. I was just good at math when I was little. So I think a lot of you are already. So it's just good at math and science. And that's just very naturally lead me to go to aviation. I mean, some of the dynamics in engineering field. So that's how I graduated aeronautical university in in Korea, Korea Aeronautical University, and there is American version of aeronautical university also. So I graduated aeronautical university in US, and I was just picked this major because I was good at math. But when I learned about it, it was so fascinating. And because also I was in aeronautical school, my friends, they want to be a pilot, they want to be a mechanic, they want to be a business person in aviation. So I was surrounded by people who's in aviation already when I was in college. So I never really think about nothing but aviation when I was young. And also that just lead to my first job, which is Lockheed Martin, and I learned about the military business at the time, and I was very honored to be working for the country who's fighting for us. So it was just a continuous inspiration as I moved towards to next. So it's not something that when I was young I always want to be a pilot, and I didn't have that type of story, but I just like to do the math and science. Yeah.
Thank you, Judy. How about you, Julia? How about you, Judy? What made you work in this business?
Okay, my story would be more dynamic than Julia, I guess, because I did not major that kind of aviation area at all, and then actually I never thought about that one. And my first career started with a Samsung. I'm very Korean, and I'm graduated at Korean university. And when I started working with a Samsung, and then do you think any other than aviation that could be dream big? And then aviation area itself, it looked like a very close to us, but it is just so different whenever I look at it more and more. So I have decided to myself and devoted that aviation in the middle of my career. Then I moved into the American company at that time, aeronautical engineering company. So that was my starting my career to be started with the aviation area. So my university major is actually I have graduated like MBA, aviation MBA. That's what I did, but it was during my working time. It was not like the beginning of my career, and because I decided I wanted to learn more about the aviation and management more. I guess there are several kind of area we can focusing on right now. I guess there is a really mechanic kind of engineering. What I'm working right now is more like half operation and half engineering. And then somebody needs to understand the architectural capability to look at the bigger pictures. And that's what I'm doing now. So for all of you, and that's how I started with it as well. And then if somebody is capable to listening or others customers in new needs, because aviation is a very, very new and very, very fresh and very somewhere like it's like we never know, and it's not familiar with, but it is very good to start with it for all of the women, I guess, especially for young women like you guys, and then to study more. If you are not afraid of learning something new, then it would be a very good area that you can jump in, never be fed of any kind of a new technology, new information, new learning.
Thank you, Judy. Next is there are still gender norms and gender bias against the women embedded in our society, especially in STEM area. So my next question is, what have been some of the challenges you have encountered in developing your profession and elevating your leadership? And what is something or someone that helped you work through it, or type of support you wish you would have to help address it? So I'm sure as a woman, you may have encountered some difficulties, and maybe our audience may face sometime in their career. So would you share if you have some challenges over the years and your career? Judy, would you like to go first?
Yes, it is true actually. And then even when I look around myself, and then yes, 90% of the people are male, and then not only who I am working with, but also who I am working for too. So, and then I cannot tell you that it's not true. I mean, it is true. And then there is a few people among women, but I can tell you definitely. And then the number of women are more increasing right now, and who I am working with. And then challenges were a lot actually at the beginning. And then because at the beginning of my career, I wanted to be the man, I guess. And that was the reason I should have said that, right? I should have confessed that way. I wanted to be like a man, and I treated myself as a man, and I wanted to be equal with them, and then together with them. But after several years later, I have realized myself, and then especially when I started my career at the Samsung, and then I couldn't drink well, and then I couldn't sit up whole night well, and then there were just so many weak points that women have, and which I cannot get over. I couldn't get over at the time. But so one day I think myself, and myself could be different, and then as a woman, and then probably I can talk better then, and then that kind of a skill set that we need to differentiate with all the male. So it is not, we can tell that, and it is like a male dominant business. That's what I can tell. But it is still required some of like a female kind of a capability to be together, especially more and more after this COVID era. And then I am looking for more people who could be better with the communication. And then, because we are located like same as Julia, and then myself, I'm working with so many countries people together. And then if we cannot communicate well, and then even I cannot work with them either. And so I can tell you that women are a lot better to communicate, and that's how I can feel. And even their expression and everything is more fluent than men, and then sometimes I should ask more bunch of questions to male. So there are so many challenges out there, especially like a physical limit. That's one. And then also, and then male dominant has their own kind of a conversation to do, but we need to have a get through it. And then I wish you could have that kind of specialty to what everybody has, and that would be something breakthrough that you can work with. And to me, and luckily I have a mentor in our company, and then somebody who I could be led by them. So I like this kind of a program to be mentor and mentorship kind of program together, because when we were young and then when you are junior, and then we could not see the matter as a big, and then because the solution itself sometimes it could be out of box, and that's somebody always led me and then to look at the different angle and to see the solution that. So yeah, that was my story.
Okay, thank you, Judy. So we're going to talk about a mentor, how the mentorship will be helpful for the career and elevating their leadership. But when you working at since you have both worked at the Samsung Korean company and the global company, have you had any kind of a problem or difficulty managing? I don't know whether you have family or not, family friendly working environment, or have had equal opportunity for a promotion, competing with male colleagues?
Yes or no, and then I guess I should just tell that one that I was lucky cases because of my new subject. That's what I started with after 911. And there were only few people who could manage a kind of agenda at that time. So I didn't mind and to learn more at that point because it was not from the book, so that I can learn from the college or the company. But moreover about like a new subject kind of stuff I should work on. There was a discrimination at the beginning, that's what I could say. But once your capability is revealed, you could prove yourself to others, and then it doesn't have to be inside of a company. It could be sometimes come outside of a company. For me, I got several awards from the government side that led me to promotion on it. So it is not. It doesn't have to be come from the company. I mean, especially Samsung, for example, and then we don't have to debate that. But if somebody recognize you from the outside of a company, like it could be customer, it could be partnership, and whoever they could lead you and to the different level, and then different kind of their promotion opportunity too.
Thank you, Judy. How about you, Julia? Have you encountered any of the difficulties or challenges working in male-dominated field?
Well, like fortunately, I think I don't feel like I am discriminated because or I am getting disadvantaged because I'm a female. I think as long as you perform well, the company recognize you and the customer recognize you. I think also, luckily, Pratt & Whitney is right now promoting a lot of female leaders. So like my current job, and this moment, my boss is a female, my boss's bosses are female. So I have 2 female leaders above me, and they have the same as me, have a family, they have 2 family to manage, they have children to manage. So we are all facing the same, challenges at this moment and working together. So I think it's very much male-dominated industry still, but if you perform your job and if you know what you're doing, there are people recognize you. So I think it's very important that you don't limit yourself that because I'm a woman, I can't do this, or because I'm a female, maybe I can't manage these positions. I think that's actually something that you limit yourself. So, you open your up and believe in yourself. I mean, that's the first thing you need to do. And also, everybody has something that they have to manage outside of work. it's not only female. Male have their own family as well. You know, they have other things to do. So I think we should equally looking at ourselves. But because a lot of males and they have, you know, already established their network and connections, so maybe honestly it's a little bit easier for them to promote and move up. But right now, a lot of females are entering this business and then they're helping themselves there as well. So, you know, woman can help a woman. So you need to, you know, we are not enemies. So it's, you know, you're sometimes competing ourselves, but at the same time, you know, you need to help each other. I think that's the key of the message of this male-dominated industry in our position.
Thank you, Judy and Julia. That's very inspiring. The global aerospace industry is projected to grow to about $1 trillion by 2040. And in Korea, the National Assembly recently passed a special law to establish an aerospace agency. So in that context, how do you see the opportunities and the role of women evolving in the aerospace industry or in STEM general in the coming years? What opportunities that we young women could look after? Julia, would you mind going first?
Yeah, sure. So because of all this, especially military business, as you already mentioned, aviation itself is going to be growing, but for the military and defense business, it's going to be growing big time because of all this war going on, and then because of all the political issues that we are facing in the world. So this aviation is not going to die. It's going to be growing very fast. And then as Judy mentioned, women usually very good at communication. So I think we should, you know, take advantage of ourselves that we can talk better, we can write better, you know, we can actually communicate more smoothly with the customers. So, and with engineering and also other background knowledge together, you know, I think there are going to be a lot of opportunity upcoming. So I believe you are all in the right position at this moment. I mean, if somebody in university or before university, high school kids ask me what's the good business that you're into, I honestly strongly recommend it, like this business, team business, because it's going to be growing. Yes, so you're in the right position. If you're doing what you're doing right now well, you know, it's going to lead you to the right next position. So I just want you to like increase yourself to doing your best at where you are, and then if you don't have something right now, keep looking for a position in the aviation. I mean, there is going to be a lot of opportunity coming up.
Thank you, Julia. How about you, Judy? What do you think of future aerospace business or working opportunities?
I totally agree with Julia, actually. And then I'm not only focusing on Korea, but also all other Asia Pacific other countries too. And when I look at at least the Asia Pacific itself, and then even Korea growth is lower than any other countries. So I can tell you that an aerospace business area is very, very prosperous. So if you are in the right position right now, and then to jump in, and then it will lead you the better. That's what I can tell you. And then as Julia already mentioned, and then communication, what I meant as a communication is not only the English skill, and it is not only the communication with another language to communicate with better. You know what Korean word they call as nunchi. I'm not sure how many people understood this nunchi. That means it's actually they recognize it by the sense and then to what they trying to say. And then that communication inclusive some of the translation of between non-technical words into the technical words, vice versa too. So, and then most of the people who I'm working with, and then they just say as a function and what they need. I want to have blah, blah, blah functions. I want to have a better speed. I want to have a stable engine kind of things. That's what they say, but it needs to be translated some other words and to make it happen. And as a technology words, that's what I I can see a few people who understand what that is. So if you can encourage, you are in the right position right now. If you can translate the words and then non-technical words to the technical words or the other way to do it, and then that will be the another communication that you could improve yourself better. And then I can tell you that aviation area is a very, very prosperous businesses, not only Korea, but also all others. Don't focusing on only Korea, but also all other countries that you can move on.
Thank you, Julie. This is my next question is related to my question. What advancement or breakthrough in aerospace or in STEM general do you find most exciting, and how can women contribute this development? You know, the aerospace business will be bigger and bigger in the coming years. So what women can contribute in this aerospace, the business, aviation business, or in STEM general? There's, you know, small portion of women working in this section. So how do you encourage women in this area?
Do I go first?
Yes, please.
Okay. I guess you know, we are living in 2024. So there are like a gender or like age or like skin color or national, that kind of discrimination is getting lower and lower. And then I agree with Julia, in a way, actually my company right now, and there is no discrimination actually between the minor or gender or that sort of thing. If I just I want to have like a family time, then that needs to be protected. Of course, you need to take your responsibility to take care of your job. That's the one. But generally, it does not make you be bothered at all. But for your, I don't know what you are facing right now as a difficulties jumping into this aerospace area, but trust yourself a bit more, and then don't be afraid and then to jump in the new area, because most of the people right after college or university graduation, and then I guess Julia would experience about saying, but we need to re-educate the people to meet the job. Actually, what we job training, that's what we need to do. But especially for technology, it's changing every single day. And then even what I have worked on last year is different from this year too. And even I am working for the government entities which is the most conservative area to work on. And then because of my job also has some of confidential information I need to take care of. So I could not tell you everything. But even government area entities also changing. They have a plan like a 10 years, 20 years at that time, but now it's getting shorter and shorter. It means, and then you need to get used to that changes more and more. If you just wanted to find one big solution to get your job and to stay you there for forever, there is no such a kind of job in this area at all. But for you, if you are glad, if you are willing to change and then adjust yourself to that change, then that attitude itself is the most important qualification to get your job.
Thank you, Judy. How about you, Julia?
Well, I think we gave a lot of advantage of working in aviation already, but when I just share my more personal stories about it,
sure.
I always like remind myself, also proud of myself, that I am working for the airplane that we fly every day. I think that's the key of it. I mean, which is related to safety directly. So when I make a design engines, when I'm working on engines, I never forget that this engine is gonna fly someday with the people. You know, this is not just, you know, some drones that fly itself. It's with the people flying. So when I was a little bit like demotivating myself at job or a little bit depressed, you know, everybody has that time. I always trying to remind myself that this engine is gonna fly with a lot of people, and I am taking care of their safety. So also sharing a little bit more of it, like my husband is a pilot for Korean Airlines, and then he's A220 pilot, which is the Pratt & Whitney engine. So he's flying my engine. So I always tell him that, you know, I am taking care of your life. But yes, so it is, it's a bit more personal, but it's, we all, you know, our aviation industry, no matter what you do, even you're engineer or if you're not engineer, it doesn't really matter. It goes to the airplane, one airplane that is going to fly high. So I think that's some inspirations, that also motivation that you could have yourself for your future career. And I think that's still, you know, motivates me a lot in my job.
Thank you, Julia. That's awesome. We earlier, Judy mentioned about the mentorship that she had received whenever she had some difficulty. The Asia Foundation STEM Connector program includes mentorship, as Maureen mentioned in the during the introduction. How can a mentorship and networking opportunities enhance the career paths of women in aerospace, where you are in, or in STEM in general? Julia, so within your company, do you have some kind of a mentorship program, or have you had any experience receiving the mentor relationship with you during your career? Julia, yes.
I go first. Yeah, so I mean, mentorship, I can tell you, it's a very critical. Like throughout my whole career, I always had a mentor. Like from the very beginning, from Lockheed Martin, and also right now in Pratt & Whitney, I still have a mentor. I mean, mentor, as Judy mentioned, it doesn't have to be within your company. You can have someone from outside of company, or you can have in your group, in your team, but usually it's better to have someone outside of your group, so you can actually like share more of your internal stuff. So yeah, so it's a little bit better. But if you want to have a mentor that who's your current boss, you know, that's still working. So it's just whoever you can learn about it, and then who can, you know, mutually understand each other. You find that person who's used. I recommend to have obviously more experience than who you are right now. And so you can learn through their mistakes, you know, their experiences. And I strongly, I mean, I really recommend it. And it doesn't have to be female. Like if you're in the female field, so you have to have a female, I mean, it's maybe better. But right now, my current mentor is a male, and he's in Canada. So we have a Zoom meeting every month. It's once a month. Is that still, it's very, when you're doing frequent, like every month, it's actually pretty frequent. So I'm catching up with him. He's my old boss. I reached out to him after I moved to the other job, that I still want to continue communication with you because I know I can learn so much from him. And then he have a like similar background as I am, so we can share a lot of other things too. So I am Zoom with him. I have a Zoom with him once a month, and then I'm planning to continue on. But my previous, you know, experiences when I had when I just got married and have little babies, I had female mentors who's been through that already, who can give me advice how to manage your family and your job together. So that's also very good recommendation as well, because she knows how you know, taking care of, you know, yourself and also the little baby at the same time. It's so finding someone who went through your similar situation is also very helpful. So, but when you meet someone, it doesn't always have to be like executive level or, you know, fancy career, you know. It's you will know when you see someone, wow, I can learn from this person. And then you can follow their recommendation. Also, maybe you disagree with their recommendation, but you can still continue on your relationship. So mentorship, I strongly recommend.
Thank you, Julia. How about you, Judy? Would you like to share your experience, how the mentor, your mentors helped you through the challenges?
Oh, yeah, I totally agree with Julia. And then my whole life also have my mentors. And then
Mhm.
I don't mean like a single mentor. I have so many mentors in my life too. And then even some of them, and who I started my career at the beginning, and then I'm still having a relationship with my mentors too. And then as Julia mentioned, and it doesn't have to be like inside of a company, could it be outside of a company too? Even some of them who I have been mentored by, and then they are already retired, but still they give me the good advice about how I look at the kind of subject or issue or performance, even my personal life too. When I was young, I did not know what I am making the relationship with those people, but all humans are social animal. Even your steps started through that at the beginning would be very small steps, but when you just making more relationship with the mentors, and then you will recognize sometime later, like me or Julia, then oh, it was a very huge asset I had at the time. So yeah, it is strongly recommended to have a mentor, and then those people could help you to guide you. It's not only that kind of a job area, but also some other like a life area too in general.
Thank you, Judy. The before we move to question and answer session, what is a piece of advice you would give someone aspiring to enter the aerospace or STEM field, or any advice you wish you had received? And one more thing is, what courses of skills or qualities should students be developing to find jobs in this sector? Judy, would you like to go first? I know you have to watch you have time constraint. Judy has to go to the airport to catch a plane, so I'd like to give you first questions to answer.
Thank you very
Yeah,
much.
Matthew.
Okay, so skill, that was very difficult question, I guess, to answer. So there is no specific definition that we need to like develop at the time. But how I could have started my aviation area kind of job was I guess most of us and then most of you might be led the kind of a standardized specification, standardized tool, standardized career path, and then that sort of a thing that everybody is looking for. It's by the book. And then the best decision I have ever had in my life was aviation at the time. Samsung did not start any kind of aviation job at the time. And then I should choose my job either to stay with the comfort zone in Samsung. I had some kind of promised things at the time, but those things are standardized one. I couldn't see kind of like a good life or like I want to be life at the time. So I step in like somewhere I never known at that time. And then of course at the time I met a very good mentor, and then she advised me why I need to look at more bigger picture at that time. So it was the best decision I have had at that time, because I was not surrounded by aviation or that kind of or aerospace job at that time. But when I just stepped in, I should be ready for take all the kind of lessons learning from the scratch. And then I should forget about all my kind of a career by the time. I thought at that time it was very huge fun, but when I just look back at that time, it was nothing. My university or like a job and anything matter at that for now. So for you, and then do your best of what you can do. But I wanted to ask you to focusing on what you could do the better, rather than what society, what the company, or what other people are asking you to do.
Thank you, Judy. How about you, Julia? Since you've been with the company for 17 or more years, what kind of advice you would give to students, early careers, etc.?
Well, I think most important thing is do your best where you are right now. I think that's gonna lead you to the next level. That's what I learned in a hard way. So because when I was at some job, obviously everybody loves not every job. So some jobs I was like hating to go to work. I hated. I wanted to go to different jobs, but even that job still is a part of my career, and that helps me to where I am right now. But at that time, I didn't know. I just didn't like the job, but that's still feeding me in some way, somehow. So I think the best you can do is perform your best in where you are right now, even if you're looking for the other one. That's going to give you another opportunity. And also the skill, as Judy said, it's very difficult, but whatever skills that you're having right now, even you're engineer or not engineer, or if you are want to be engineer forever, broad like your perspective a little more. And right now, I started my career as an engineer, but right now I'm in more business development area. I'm meeting customers. So, but my engineering background just helps me so much because I can read drawing. I can read design. Not many business development person can read a drawing. So I can communicate with the designer. I can communicate with engineer. That helps me a lot. So whatever your background that you're in, it's going to help you to the next level. So I think do your best where you are. That's going to be the best. Yes.
Thank you, Judy. I totally agree with you. Just do
Yeah.
your best right now, where you are right now. Okay, thank you very much. We're now going to have a question and answer session. Judy, I mentioned she needs to catch a plane this afternoon. So, but she would try to get back to us when she can, she's on the taxi on her way to the airport. So, hope that she get back to us. So now we're going to open the floor for questions. If you have any questions, write it down in your chat box or raise your hand. I don't see any hands raised on my screen. So, and then we have some questions who has submitted in registration. So these are some of the questions. What would be an ideal workplace for female college students in STEM field who is about to enter the workplace? So
yeah. So
mm-hmm.
well, I don't think there is really ideal workplace.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yes, every workplace has the good thing and then disadvantage as well. So I mean, if you are looking for very ideal workplace for your job, it's gonna be very difficult to find it. But obviously the company that has more female, I guess, employees percentage is going to be help you better than like 99% male dominate company. So if you can enter the company that has more open to women and also promoting, like my company right now, we are hugely like promoting female leader right now. So if you can enter something like that, the company has their future with a female leader. That's going to be very ideal, as you can say. But when I mentioned a few times, like, don't limit yourself as a female person. Like, it's still going to be, the male has the same challenges as we have. So, and also there are advantages because there are only few females, so we are also taking advantages as well. So it's not only this advantage that we are taking because of this is male dominated industry. So expand yourself and express yourself. That's going to be the key. Yeah.
Thank you, Julie. I'm sorry you have to take on all the questions while
No,
Judy is on the road. Hope that she will get back to us. And you and the Judy also mentions that you know all the skills is that you have is very helpful in the work you are doing now. And the one of the participant mentioned any soft skills that will help you career today or in the future. That you mentioned communication skills, interpersonal skills, something like soft skills. What do you think would be kind of very helpful in your experience to kind of step up and help in your communication, I mean, your career? Have you had any special the courses on the kind of interpersonal skills or communication skills?
well, I think, yes, I think Judy already mentioned a few times, yes, soft skill, the best soft skill is the communication, and it's not
Mhm.
only the language,
Uh-huh.
it's about the insight. You understand other people's thinking and their
Mhm.
perception,
Mhm.
and you don't judge them. I think that's very important to have a soft skill, which is a little bit woman has more advantage of. So I think we are better about it. And also other soft skills that is also becoming a bridge between like functions. As an engineer, you're gonna be in position that you have to understand two different functions, such as like the customer and also the internal customer, which is your company. So in the between side, it's not easy because you have to balance out. And that soft skill that you can have as an engineer is to understand the customer's perspective at the same time what the company needs. And you don't forget that who you are working for. So that soft skill I always very helpful for my current position right now. So, and I believe female is tend to be very good at it. So I don't think you need to worry about it too much, but it's just having a good insight about human itself. I think it always helps. Yeah.
Yes, totally right. The next question is from a Korean undergraduate student, and she wants to work for a foreign company. And how should she start? Uh,
Yeah, I think Judy
yeah,
answered this
yeah.
better. Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, because I didn't graduate Korean college, but I can tell you that though because I am right now with the Korea employee. So we have like in our RTX, the Raytheon technology, we have a lot of places and positions open in Korea and also Japan. So, and it's not only limited to the people that who have American or Canadian passport. So you can still apply a job as a local hire in American company or Canadian company because I just only know the American and Canadian company. You can still looking for a job and apply a job with your background because right now we used to have expat. You may probably know that expat, which is like American or Canadian who is deployed to Korea and working for Korean company, but companies start realizing that it costs a lot of money because they have to pay for all the expense for their living, their school, their kids. So now we don't do that anymore. We are promoting local hire. We realize that there's a lot of smart people from that country, from their education, who can still speak English. So we are now promoting local hires. So there are plenty of jobs that you can find non-Korean company that you can work for.
Thank you, Julia. I think Judy is connected now. Judy, are you available to answer some of the questions on board?
Yes.
Thank you.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And then thank you for understanding me.
No problem.
Yes. You know, like my piece of advice for you is don't limit to your career at the beginning. You don't have to start your work and then at the front the foreign company or domestic company, it doesn't matter. And then also, and then when as Julia already mentioned, and then I'm also recently hiring local person. And then not only Korea, but also for example, Japan and then And then Vietnam, that's what I'm trying to promoting to hire local people because they could communicate it better in local too. So first of our devices to understand local entity, local market itself. It can be started anywhere. It doesn't have to be only the foreign company like me, or I mean, to me, even I started my career from the local company first. And then even when you just prove yourself as what you could do, and then your presence is not limited only Korea. Even my whole my life and my career has started from the Korea, but I stayed in Singapore. I worked for other Europe, and then don't limit yourself, and then all global areas your market, and then where you can work on.
Thank you, Judy. I think that also connected to next question. So I think my last, there's a last question on the board would be, what qualities should we look for in a mentor? So Judy and Julia, you have the many mentors who helped you through all the difficult times, or not even just not in a difficult times, but in your career. So what are kind of qualities that we should look for as a mentor? What kind of mentor we should look for? That will be something that Asia Foundation should be also to consider for identifying good mentors.
Okay.
Julia, Julia or Judy, since you're on the road, so
it is very tough question to answer, but to me, and then when I look back, and then my mentors, all they are different. And sometimes I was the one who looked for the advice from them too. And then even you could luckily find out your mentor around you, or you could look for your mentor too. That would be the way. I guess this foundation is providing the very good mentorship. And then it could be, they are not the one who could just give you a job and this is the job you started with. Well, no, it is not the way to do it, because everybody has a different kind of situation and everybody faces a different kind of education and different background, and then their capability and everything is different. But that is the beauty of human beings too. So I guess the variety of, you need to understand what you are looking for first, and then even if especially for you to looking for the mentor, that would be number one. And then for mentorship foundation perspective, I guess it would be good to have a more resourceful people, and then who could give them an advice and when they have been a proper career path.
Thank you, Judy. Julia, you mentioned about the importance and the helpfulness of a mentor that you've received. But could you just kind of one more time to wrap up how the people should look out for mentors?
Yeah, I think the first thing you need to do is understand actually your objective, because each career level you have a different objective, and also along with your level of your life. So when you're looking for mentors qualities, before you do that, you actually ask yourself, what do I need from her or him? Like what the career advice, or how to manage myself, or looking for another job, or leaving the company, or growing up this company as an executive, something like that. So, and then you can start selecting your mentors from there. I think that's the key, because when I had the mentors, as I mentioned before, I had a different level of mentors who can give me the advice. When I was a very young career, I was looking for someone who can give me advice in career itself, like how to actually work well, perform well, how to get a good performance review. A very basic level of the questions that I need, because I was in the learning curve. And then after a few years later that I know about how to do my job, I was looking for some more challenging jobs. So then I looking for somebody else how to actually looking for different position in the same company. So that's another thing that I was asking my mentor, who's a different person. And then after I get married, as I mentioned, I was looking for the female mentors who's managing the family. That's another thing that I learned about. So I don't know where you at right now, each one of you. Maybe you're in still college, or you're just in the first position, or your second job. Everybody has in different fields and a different level of their life and career. So understand where you are first, and then what you're looking for, and then select your mentors by their qualities.
Thank you very much. Excellent. I wish you two can join our program to be a mentor to our participants. Okay, so I would like to thank our excellent speakers, Judy and Julia, for sharing their stories, insights, and advice with our audience. I'm confident that our audience was further motivated and encouraged to move forward with their career in STEM. I hope we can stay in touch for our next speaker series and other STEM Connector events. My colleague, Apruva or Marine, will provide you with the website links and the upcoming events that you might be interested in. Thank you very much, and have a good start to a week. Over to you, Marine, or thank you.
Good luck, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Kyeon-sung, for leading such an interesting discussion, and of course, Julia and Judy for being so candid and sharing such useful your experience and advice. We really enjoyed listening, and I think this was also a great learning experience for our participants. If you're interested, I would like to invite you to continue with your journey in STEM with us and to join the STEM Connector program. My colleague will just put up a slide where I'll share with you our website link. So if you would like to join the program, through which you can access all our learning resources, our mentoring, our community basically, and to expand your network, the first thing you have to do is to register on our website. The address is stemconnector.org. Once you register your intent and your interest in joining the community, we'll send you a link to join our platform where all the resources are housed and the mentoring takes place, which we'll send you an email with a link, and then you have to set up your account there. And through that, you can access all the features of the program. If you have any questions, please feel to reach out to us. Our email address is stemconnect.her@asiafoundation.org. We hope to see all of you in our next upcoming events. And please do stay in touch. Thank you.
Thank you all.
Thank you. Thank
Bye.
you.
Thank you.